Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we are going to be bringing you BIELSA'S Murderball, his 4-1-4-1, a very intense pressing tactic that has been requested pretty much on every single tactics video. So it's good to finally be able to bring it to you guys. If you guys do enjoy these tactic videos, be sure to leave a like on it and do subscribe to the channel. This is the first of 7 videos this week, so there is going to be an upload every single day. So be sure to show some love on all of the videos. And yeah, let's get into the tactic testing phase of this video. So, we're going to kick things off with Leeds United. Obviously, probably when you think Bielsa, this is the team you think of the most because, you know, he was there for a while. He'd done good things with Leeds. Unfortunately, it did come to a little bit of a negative ending with poor results, etc., etc. But overall, he did do very well with Leeds. I don't think anyone can take that away from him. In this scenario, however, we done extremely well because we managed to finish in 2nd place, just behind Liverpool by 2 points, which, to be honest, with Leeds, whenever I test with Leeds, I always aim to try and at least get Europa football. That's what I try and aim for. So to be finishing in 2nd is a real big accomplishment. Obviously, there is a little bit of an off-season coming in here from the likes of Arsenal, United, Chelsea, Everton actually pushing their way up into 4th. So it's not the only shocker we're seeing in this tactic test at all. It's going to be Rodrigo coming in with 47 goals, and it's actually going to be Jack Harrison contributing with 28 assists. In terms of goals, we scored 115 and only conceded 45. Now, with this tactic, it's not a defensive masterclass. It's not promoted to be a defensive masterclass. This is all about intensive football. So a lot of your games are going to be quite end-to-end, and they are going to require a lot of stamina and energy from your players. But if you've got the squad depth, you've got the players that can hack it, this tactic can work really, really well. Now, these are some of the actual stats from the squad for this season, and it was really impressive, to be fair. If you look here, you've got the likes goal scorers especially. You've got a lot of high ones. So you got 47 for Rodrigo, you got 31 for Sinistara, you got Harrison with 17, you've got 11 here for Robin Koch, you've got 14 coming in for Jorginho Rutter, you have got 21 here coming in for Tyler Roberts. You've got a lot of people who, to be fair, really they're all contributing in several ways. I don't know if I just read out a loan. I'm like a loanee player, by the way. Apologies if I did, but there are a lot of people that get involved with the goals here, and that's exactly what you can expect with this system. If you imagine you've obviously got your 4 at the back, then you've got your sort of 1 defensive-minded midfield player, then you've got your 4 sort of central area players, and the wide players especially do look to push up and get involved and help that advance forward and get lots of goals. And that's exactly what we experienced with this team. In terms of assists, we've got 23 assists coming in for Sinistara. We've got 28 coming in for Harrison. We've got 15 coming in for Tyler Adams, 13 for Mark Rocker. We've got so many different assisters, and it is really good to see because you're not relying on one area or one player to get all of the stuff done. And in terms of the data hub, things were looking very, very good. Obviously, with this Leeds United side predicted to finish about 10th to 11th, I believe, inside of the game. So to be coming out and scoring over 3 goals a game and only conceding just above a goal a game, which, as I said, is to be expected in this system because it's by far no means of a defensive tactic. It is going to be really in your face and aggressive football. So to be conceding that little and to be scoring over 3 goals a game is very impressive. We then go over to Nils in the Argentinian division. Now, I don't play a lot of Argentinian sort of football in FM at all, so it is quite nice to use a different team, and this is the other team I think of when you think of Bielsa. Obviously, if I'm correct, one of the sort of starting clubs he was at, and fair play to him at the end of the day. But it was interesting to play in this division. As you can see here, there's a ton of trophies or competitions you'll put in. Actually 6, which we did manage to win 4 out of the 6, nearly 5, but unfortunately, we were runners-up. In terms of goals, 73 scored, only 24 conceded, and the players really did light up in this team, and it was really exciting to use some of these players because I've not really heard of any of them. In terms of the squad, let's have a quick look here then. So we are going to have Gonzalez, coming in with 38 goals and 37 assists. We've got Riasco coming in with 69 goals and 7 assists. This guy here, by the way, absolute baller. Ignore the ability because I say this time in time out. There's several players which have got good or not the best ability in terms of the stars. But I've stopped looking at the stars all the time because trust me, there's some real good players out there which, you know, you might not ordinarily use because they're not the best stars. In terms of Ditta, now this guy is an incredible centre half. 14 goals and 1 assist. You've got Gianni coming in with 18 goals and 19 assists. You've got Perez coming in with 15 and 25. You've got 7 goals and 22 assists coming in from Saforza, but even so you say that. And as you can see, again, a very similar pattern. There's stats all over the board from these players, and they're putting up some really impressive numbers. And you can argue that obviously this might not be the most challenging division, and I would agree, but this isn't one of the favourite teams according to the game anyway. In my opinion, they do have a good squad though, so you can expect to sort of get these type of stats, but to see it this impressive is really good, and it just shows how much is created from all areas of the pitch. You've obviously, as I said before, you've got the 4 in midfield, the 2 wide players will push up and get involved. Even the midfield players, especially the left centre one, will push up and get involved. So there is a ton of opportunity to get goals with this tactic, and a ton of opportunity to win trophies, which is exactly what we've done. Over to the data hub from this save, and again, it was relatively impressive. A little less on the goals, but also a little less on the conceded per game, so it sort of evens itself out. 0.89 conceded per game, which is very impressive. Again, 2.7 goals per game, which is always good to see. And in my opinion, this is sort of the stat line you can expect. I do believe with the right team, it is easily achievable to get under sort of a goal per game. Obviously, when we tested with Leeds, they are a slightly weaker side in that division, so I was always expecting partner on that alongside of this is a very, very attacking tactic, that we were going to concede over a goal. But this just shows that if you are, you know, maybe a little easier division, or you've got a slightly better defence, or one of the better defences in the division, you can come out and produce these results. And then the last team we're going to test with is just a viewer suggestion, and the reason why we're doing it with 3 teams this episode is because we are going to look at not only some of the goals but also more of the highlights. So we're going to allow ourselves a little bit more time to go over one of the games. Now, we are going to go over and just say how good this season was. We absolutely dominated the Belgian division, and this is for the fan of Genk. Obviously, I never knew how good Genk were in this division. As I said, I do really need to start watching different countries in terms of football and get a little bit more knowledge on this. But anyone in the comments that watches a lot of Belgian football, are Genk quite dominant in the division usually, or what are we sort of saying? Because I'm always interested. I know last video, that was on the FM Scout channel, I asked about I believe it was a Morelos with the Rangers fans. Do you like him? Do you not like him? It's always good to, you know, sort of get some feedback. But overall, a very dominant division here. 136 goals scored and only 22 conceded. Not too much cups you sort of participate in from what I gather in this division, but overall a very impressive season. In terms of the squad, we'll go to the goals first. That's where the real standout is. We've got Anachu coming in with 62. We've got 28 coming in for Saw. We've got Tressor coming in with 18. Then there is a little bit of a drop off in this, I'm not going to lie. But still, you've got 3 players there which are nearly all getting over 20 goals. 2 of them are, one of them very close. In terms of assists, you've got 20 coming in for Saw, Haynen coming in with 16, 15, I'm not even going to try and say that name, so I will butcher it. 11 coming in for Carstensen, you've got Trezor coming in with 11, then a few on 8, 1 on 7, then there's a little bit of a drop-off. But still, a lot of players getting a decent amount of assists, which is maintaining exactly what this tactic is about. In terms of the data hub then, general performance, very impressive. The best defensive record we had. Obviously, I would say this is the most sort of dominant with team we've used in the relative divisions we've tested in, so this is a good indicator of exactly what you can expect if you have got a strong team in your current division. 0.56 conceded per game and 3.49 goals per game as well, so nearly 3.5 goals a game and just over half a goal conceded per game. So very impressed with that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go and watch one of the games and actually watch some of sort of the key highlights, because then we're going to be able to see some of this pressing coming in and exactly what you can expect to see. So then, we're going to watch from a 2D classic perspective first off, and then we're going to go and actually sort of watch the goals. To start with, we are going to be watching the key highlights just to see if we get to see some of this intense pressing that is so good in this tactic. But this is how the tactic actually lines up. So as you can see here, this is going to be us here. You're going to have your 4 here, your 1 in midfield here. You've then got 2 here, which is obviously the 2 centre midfield players, the left-hand sided player and the right-hand sided player, and then the striker just here. So it is a 4-1-4-1. And what you see so commonly with this is these players here really do sort of push up, and in some ways it will start to look in some areas like a 4-3-3 as well, because you will have all 3 players advance forward. You might have this left-sided midfielder sort of drift central, and then this one sort of push up as well next to this player here, and it will look sort of possibly like a 4-3-3 or, you know, 4-2-3-1. It's quite a fluid formation, and you could really change this as well in every single game that you go into. If we go and have a little look then at the key highlights, we'll have a little look. So it is going to be a 7-1 win, by the way, as we win the ball back very well there. We're going to go down the left-hand side of the field, just developing slowly up the field. Great bit of play here. Are we going to cut it back? Are we going to cut it back? We're going to put the ball in, actually, into Riasco. It does get cleared. and now they're on the counter, but we win it back right off the bat into Angel, I believe is how you say that. It's not Angel, is it? Into Gonzalez, who chips it, and it's just off the line from Colombo. They win it back, but as you can see, we're so aggressive to win the ball back. As you can see there, again, from Perez. Unfortunately, nothing does come from it, but there is so much aggression in this. That's exactly what you can expect to be seeing, as I do have a little spell of possession here, and I don't know if this is the goal, actually, because they do score in this game, as you are aware of, but no, we come in, and you're seeing this pressing, and if you watch that again, there were sort of 3 players pressing him at one time, and that's because it is all about winning the ball back when you've lost it, and from that press, we actually go through and do score with Riasco, and we are going to watch these goals as well, actually, in the highlights, but it's just good to watch the 2D sometimes, because you get to see exactly what's going on, and obviously watching the key highlights, you get to see areas of the game which you don't when you just watch the goals. But that's going to be 1-0, as this could be the second goal here, a set piece in the box, and it is cleared, and they could have a counter-attack here. As you can see, they've got number 9 who could make a run, but number 56 is going alone, sorry. We have got several players that are coming across to press. Are we going to get there is the key question. Number 10, absolute passion from him into Gianni. As you can see, Gianni coming out and helping out number 3. There was 2 players determined to win that ball back, as we do play a little bit of a poor ball over the top, but 44 is going to chase it, and 44, is he going to get there? He is going to get there. We're really seeing this pressing coming in into Gonzalez, who wins it into Riasco. It's a little bit of a dodgy one, and it is going to be Insane coming in, who does get the collection of the ball. But you can see there how intense the press is and exactly what sort of dangers it can cause. Gonzalez with the ball in there. Is this going to be a Diatta header? It's not. Gutierrez is going to be on the counter-attack. I don't know. That is an awful clearance, as Gonzalez does pick it right up, and there could be a goal come from this. Gonzalez on the wing into Diatta. Into Angel. Is he going to lose it? He isn't. That's clinical from him. Diatta into Mendes. As you can see, you do play some quite good football with this. Although it's not classed as like sort of tiki-taka, we are playing some really good football here, and I believe that it's going to be a goal come from that. It is. That is a beautiful goal. Obviously, all originally from a set piece that went nowhere, but we recovered it, got the ball back, and that's exactly what we want to be seeing, as we do see us go 2-0 up in what was a 7-1 win. So far so good with this tactic. We're seeing a lot of pressing, we're seeing some really good pass and play, some good goals, and that's exactly what you expect to be seeing with this tactic. When I go again here, so this is just before half-time as well, 3 minutes before half-time, it's going to be Mendes just sort of cutting in there. Always an option to go back, which is exactly what we want to be seeing with this system. Into Mendes, again on the ball, very calm, into Diatta. Number 6 should make an option. He's going to cut across, okay, into Mansilla. Look at the amount of space number 3's got over here as well. This is what we want to be seeing. Tons of space if needed, but it doesn't look... It's going to be, as Riasco goes through, takes a touch, hits it, and that is going to be free. So, to be fair, the first half was very dominant, wasn't it? I mean, every chance they got to counter, we high-pressed. We won the ball back, and we've scored 3 goals. I mean, it's pretty much the perfect half, but for us, that's not enough, as we do obviously go on in the second half to score quite a few more goals. But they love, well, I was going to say they have a chance there, but it is going to be Gonzalez that does win it back there into Hoyos, our goalkeeper. I believe that's how you say that. He's very calm on the ball here by the looks of it. Very calm on the ball, taking as much time as he wants into Ditta. See, that's the difference. They're not putting any pressure on us. Into Ditta, into Mendes. Little bit of build-up here, actually. Mendes is so good in this team, I must say. Into Gianni. He's taking his time. Into Ditta. See, there is composure with this as well. You do get the composure. It's always good to see, you know, a tactic that is really good at pressing, but also has got this sort of passing style in its locker. Into Gianni. Is the ball going to go into the box? Is it going to go in? There's an option on the edge. He's seen it. Into Perez. Into Angel. So good at maintaining the ball. It's unreal. Into Mendes. Beautiful play into Gianni across, and that was an easy save. I thought it was going to result in a goal, but that is exactly what we want to be seeing in terms of going forwards. It's pretty much flawless play. Angel at the back here, again, had such a crucial role in this team. Into Gonzalez, who again was a very dangerous player, just running down this left-hand side of the field, practically unfazed by the other team. Cutting it back into Luciano. Again, quite a patient build-up with this attack. It makes me laugh this though, because they've got so much time on the ball. The other team's just sort of sitting back and accepting almost defeat at this point. Luciano, again, so much time on the ball. Into Angel. Back into Luciano. This now looks like a Barcelona tactic, the way we're pinging this about. But it's impressive. It is impressive. Back into Luciano. He's been involved in this attack several times. Be nice to actually see a goal come from this. because that would really be impressive. Into Gonzalez, back into Hoyos now. We really are getting everyone involved. The keeper, the left back, the left centre-back, the striker, everyone's getting involved. Into Ditter. I believe there is going to be a goal come from this as well, as we slowly build up into Perez, just pretty much waiting for that perfect opportunity. And this could be it, actually. Into Riasco, a beautiful overlap and run from Gonzalez, who bursts past number 40, who hits it and actually thought he was going to get the ball in, but hits it across goal and is going to make it 4-0. And that is exactly what we want to be seeing. We are seeing a lot of stuff going on now. We are going to switch to the goals now, because we have seen like a lot, as it's going to make us watch everything now, isn't it? But we are going to switch to the goals, because we have seen, we'll just skip through these few, we have seen a lot of sort of pressing and a lot of this and a lot of that. We're going to go purely and watch the goals now, because I feel like these highlights could go on for absolutely hours, it feels. So we're just going to skip this one, and we'll slow it down, don't you worry, when we get to the... It is going to be this goal, so we'll slow it down to about here, and we're going to watch the goals. And we are also going to pick out another game, by the way, and we'll watch the actual goals in person, just to give you a nice mixture. And, you know, as I always say, if you guys want to quickly say this, if you guys do want the videos to be made a certain way, you want to see this all the time, this 2D side and then the in-game side, do let me know in the comments. But it's going to be Riasco going through here. Just going to beat him, and that's a great touch, and it's a great finish. Such a good striker, guys. Honestly, underrated in my opinion. A really, really good centre forward. Isser again with the ball into Mendes, building it up slowly down this right-hand side. An option inside into Gianni. A wonder ball through into Riasco, who hits it first time. And when you put him through, he never misses. He really never misses, and it's a great goal. And this is going to be, I believe, the last goal for us this game, as we do go a little bit more direct with that one into Funes, who touches it down, goes through, little cut to the left, and tucks it in. Unfortunately, it isn't going to be a completely perfect game, because they do get a goal late on, I believe, in around the 80th minute. But it is just the one, and it is going to be Barbona into Lopez. Is it going to be a long shot? No, it's quite a direct approach that does sort of catch us off guard, to be honest with you. But overall, a game which I don't think anyone can argue we deserve to win. Obviously, the stats are going to be completely in our favour. Every single thing. I mean, we've had Riasco with a 10, a lot of goals coming in from him, tons of assists, and assists from every single one of that sort of central four I was talking about. So let's go over now and watch one of the games in terms of the goals. So I picked out a random league game just to see some goals, and this one was the one I picked out because there is 5 goals. So let's go ahead and watch some of this play. As you can see how clinical we are, as a wonderful chip comes in from Gomez with the assist into Gianni. A beautiful ping from him and a composed finish. We're going to push up again here. It's so much space on the ball into Perez, who plays a beautiful ball into Riasco. And that's something you can expect to see. Them sort of central midfield players are absolutely lethal at finding the forward runs, whether that be on the wing or your centre forward. We go again here with Diatta. Into Forzosa, I believe that's how you say that, who bit of trickery on the left-hand side, into Riasco, and this guy can do no wrong. That is going to be 3-0 inside of 27 minutes, or just 28 minutes if you want to be precise. But we go again here, it's going to be Portillo, into Riasco, into Sordo. Sordo's still going, tons of space, driving into the top right corner, and that is going to be 4-0. One more goal to come, though, before we do call it a day for this tactic test and phase. It's going to be Gianni. I knew that ball was coming. It always happens into Riasco, and it's a delicate chip over. No one's there to clear it off the line, and that is a very deserved 5-0 win. So then, guys, it's now time to break down the tactic. But before we do, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and please do turn on notifications. You're never going to miss a video when I live stream, when I do a community poll, and much more. And if you do want to stay in touch even more, you can follow my social medias that will be on the screen at some point in this video and also in the description. So do follow me on there. I respond to everyone, and it's a good way to stay in touch with the channel. But let's break down the Bielsa Murder Ball. That is the name that he gets given in his training session. So I figured, you know what, it makes the tactic sound a bit dramatic. We'll go with it. And that's exactly why we've named it this. Obviously, we did make this tactic in FM23. It was really popular and tons of people have wanted this again. So it is relatively going to look similar because the formation is going to be the same. But there are slight tweaks to this, which in my opinion, just perform a little bit better than the previous one. So let's get in and break it down. So we're going to start off with a positive mentality. In possession, you want fairly narrow, pass into space, overlap left and right, play out of defence, shorter, slightly higher, be more expressive, work ball into the box with whip crosses. You can have this maxed out all the way, but for me, it was just too demanding on the players. And as you can see in their match highlights, the pressing is still ridiculous, even on slightly higher. In transition, you want counter press, counter, distribute to the playmaker, take short goal kicks. Out of possession, you want a higher defensive line, Bielsa style, high press line of engagement, much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. In terms of the player roles, you want an advanced forward on attack, shoot more often, tackle harder, mark tighter, and move into channels. The left-hand sided winger is an inverted winger on attack. You want roam from position, dribble more, cut inside with the ball, and get further forwards. As I said, it's very crucial that these wide players are getting involved going forwards. On the right-hand side, it is literally going to be exactly the same. So I'm only going to say it once, but again, please have both of them as they are, because they will get forward, and that is how you're going to get majority of your goals, whether that be them assisting or them scoring alongside of the striker. The three in midfield, we are going to have a Metzala on support. On the left-hand side, by far the most attacking player we have. Dribble more, get further forwards, stay wider, move into channels, and roam from position. If you're a goal down, you could have him on attack. You could get him pushed up slightly more, but to start with, I would just rock with this. Next to him, a box-to-box midfielder on support, and simply roam from position. Nothing else needed. This one is the only position I would not change, because this is the player that does pluck out them balls in behind, plucks out the balls for the wingers getting in behind, and is a real good player in this team. And that is a deep lying playmaker on support, shoot less often, take more risks and hold position. In terms of the defence, we've got a wing back on the left on support, run wide with the ball and get further forwards. On the right, we've got a wing back on support, sit narrower, run wide with the ball and get further forwards. Two ball playing defenders in this system. On the right hand side, we've got a defend, pass it shorter, take more risks and hold position. And on the left hand side, we've got pass it shorter, take more risks and hold position. Then we have a sweeper keeper to kick things off to end things, and that is just going to be a simply defend. Nothing special. We're not after him to come out and sweep. It's nice and basic, no instructions needed. And that is going to be the Bielsa tactic done, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know you've been waiting for it for a while, but this week we are getting through a lot of your suggestions. This week I can say now we've got the Van Gaal 95 tactic, we've got the Dezabi tactic, and then we are got tons of more tactics coming up in the future. Your tactic is going to get worked on, and I promise it will be on the channel. But if you guys have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.